I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Whoa, whoa, safe to shore. Whoa, whoa, safe to shore. Whoa, whoa, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. We go straight to verse 3, in case that helps. Straight to verse 3. 2, 3, 4. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. 1, 2, 3, whoa, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you, oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, oh, oh, safe to shore, oh, oh, safe to shore, oh, oh, safe to shore. There's a lot of chords in this one. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of empty pages you don't need to worry about there. Sorry. Verse, chorus, and then move on to the next song.
Oh, okay, so we have an extra page we don't really need.
Yeah, sorry. You can just rip it out if you want.
Okay. I think I will, or put it in it or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your everlasting love is higher, higher, higher than the sky. Your everlasting love is higher, higher, higher than the sky. So much higher than the sky. Oh, the wonders of your everlasting love is higher than the sky. Higher than the heavens above is the glory of your wonderful love. I'm lost in the misery of your everlasting love. Now it's a quick transition. Your everlasting love. Your everlasting love is deeper, deeper, deeper than the sea. Your everlasting love is deeper, deeper, oh, so deeper than the sea. So much deeper than the sea. Oh, the wonders of your everlasting love is deeper than the sea. Higher than the heavens above is the glory of your wonderful love. I'm lost in the misery of your everlasting love. Your everlasting love. I've got the joy. Oh, sorry. Come on. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the love of Jesus down in my heart. Down in my heart. Where? I've got the love of Jesus, love of Jesus down in my heart. Where? To say, I've got the. Where? Where? Now, quick question. Do you think we should also do, I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart? No? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think we can skip that one. All right. And Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. Cool. We'll do that probably twice, depending on how tired people are at that point. Any questions on those songs?
Are they going back to back like that?
Straight through, yep.
So you do not need the fourth page.
Yep.
So just put an X through it, fold it, do something. Yes.
Checkity check. Could you hear this? Yeah.
Do you prefer just to use
We'll make sure. It'll happen.
Okay, then just use your music. There you go. There you go. Just use your music. All right. Good. Any questions? The service is pretty straightforward. Are we processing out? Yes, yes, we are. So we're,
Hey guys.
done.
You get your hair did? Nice, looking good.
Notice that it's verse 1 the first time and verse 3 the second time. You are going to need your hymnal.
What up,
and
dude?
your-
Oh yeah, so much fun.
Make sure you have both of those.
How you guys doing?
Then
Yeah.
the last hymn.
Okay, yeah. Him tired or work tired or both? Something else?
And it's in your faith we sing. And
Oh,
I would like us to clap.
yeah. Yeah, that's. Oh, so no like downtime, but at the end of the week. Yeah. Oh, that's tough.
Caleb would like us
I don't know,
to clap
but
on the last
tired is tired. I feel you.
apologies.
All right. Well, good. To see
tasted and seen of the sweetest of love, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Grand earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice, and the seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken from my regard. And through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. And through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. And far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see. And this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. And through it all, my eyes are on you.
and welcome to Camp Sunday. I know we got you all in this really meditative space, and then I'm about to tell you that it's a joy-filled Sunday. But I just start with gratitude. Thank you, Mandakini, for being here, for singing with us. Mandakini is one of many camp friends today. So someone I know from here, or someone I know here from camp. So thanks for being here, and I love all the connections and the ways we're connecting. But as we start our service, I invite you to rise, and not just to rise, but to rise and shine. So come on up. We're going to sing some old camp songs. And the goal I had for planning this was that there would be one song that each person knew, even if they're different songs. So they're songs from different generations, songs from different areas, songs from different traditions. But they start with rise and shine. The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody, floody. Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody, floody. Get those animals out of the muddy, muddy, children of the Lord. So what? So rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. And now some of you are kind of new to this, and that's all right. I appreciate you just going for it. And because there's no mouthing along when you're wearing a mask, all right? So you just sing it on out, and if it's wrong, it's going to sound great. The Lord, Noah, is going to an arky, Lord, to Noah, to build him an arky, build it out of gopher, barky, barky, children of the Lord. So what? So rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. All right, this is one for the kids who are still in camp. In my wrestling and in my doubt, in my failures you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Here we go. Oh, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. All right, now you've heard it once. You can sing along this time. I don't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Now this is from when I was a camper. Your everlasting love is higher, higher, higher than the sky. Your everlasting love is higher, higher, higher than the sky. So much higher than the sky. Oh, the wonders of your everlasting love is higher than the sky. Higher than the heavens above is the glory of your wonderful love. I'm lost in the mystery of your everlasting love. Your everlasting love is deeper. Your everlasting love is deeper, deeper, deeper than the sea. Your everlasting love is deeper, deeper, deeper than the sea. Deeper than the sea. Oh, the wonders of your everlasting love is deeper than the sea. Higher than the heavens above is the glory of your wonderful love. I'm lost in the misery of your everlasting love. Your everlasting love. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the love of Jesus down in my heart. Down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the love of Jesus down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Oh, that was beautiful, everybody. All right. Go, take it away, Georgia.
To worship. Come, everyone. It's Camp Sunday. Step outside your regular routine and set down your desire to seem dignified.
We can have fun at church.
Whether you've been to camp every year or you have no idea what we're talking about,
We're here to be present.
come spend time with your Creator.
Thanks be to God and each other.
All are welcome here.
Thanks be to God. Amen.
All righty, go ahead and have a seat. Those of you at home, stay seated. I don't know, I imagine sometimes that there are people at home who are doing all the standing up in their living room. They're like, oh, here we go, doxology time. And their neighbors think they're weird because they hear that doxology being sung with verve. Hey, my name is Caleb Williams. It's my pleasure to welcome you once again to Milwood United Methodist Church. I get to be the pastor here, and it is cool being a neighborhood church where we get to have fun together sometimes, right? Hey, we have fun every week is what you were supposed to say there. Hey, we are a neighborhood church, and I am so glad that you're here. Whatever road brought you here, whatever road has taken you from this place, I'm glad that you are here. In fact, would you turn to someone near you and say, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Hey, part of being neighbors is looking out for each other. That means if you're online, go ahead and throw your name in the comments so that we can keep track of folks. We don't want to lose track of anyone who is at home digitally. And if you're in here, grab one of those contact cards, the white cards that are tucked in the hymnal in front of you. Fill that out for us. That'll help us keep track of each other. And it also serves as contact tracing. I am feeling very glad that after our 4-week virtual church challenge, we are back in the house. And have you seen the numbers? They went up, skyrocketed, plateaued, and they have come crashing down. Thank God. You did very well. I'm assuming that was all Milwood's fault, right? We got it, yeah. So thank you for doing that. I know it's not always as fun to be virtual if that's not your style. If you're an extrovert like me, it's tough. But I so appreciate you looking out for each other that way. But hey, welcome back. It's a fun day. You already tried it out. You sang some songs. I assume. I can't even tell with the mask, but you sounded good. You sounded good. And today is Super Bowl Sunday. Hence there are soup cans up here. So if you maybe remember, there is a box out there to throw your soup cans in. Preferably set your soup cans in. And if you forgot them, it's okay. You can bring them in later in the week or next Sunday. It's not actually about the Super Bowl. It's about feeding people, right? Hey, another thing that's happening next weekend is our fine arts concert, first one of the year. Carl Ratner and Svetlana Stone are singing songs from Russia and from Russian composers and Russian-descended composers. I love that. They just wanted to find a way to get Gershwin in there, and no, it's some good stuff. So do come 3 p.m. next Sunday. As always, it is a free concert. We take a love offering to support the series, but everyone is welcome at these events because it is a gift to our community. And finally, less than a month from now, we're going to begin a new season in the church, what we call Lent. It's that period of reflection leading up to Easter. And in those 6 weeks, we're going to have a few things going on. First, our worship will be a little different. Some of those weeks, we're going to have sermons from pastors over at Chapel Hill. And some of the weeks, they're going to have sermons from me. So we're mix and matching as we expand our idea of who is us. Because we're not just Milwood. We are the Church of Jesus Christ in this world, and so glad to have good neighbors like the folks at Portage Chapel Hill. We will also be gathering together, their church and ours, here for Ash Wednesday on March 2nd at 7 p.m. It's going to be a good service. Hope you'll be there. I always find it one of the more meaningful services of the year. Help me reflect on the realities of life and death and the tough times all made real. And we'll also be checking out small groups, so don't forget about that. A lot of ways to participate in the life of the church for that season we call Lent. All right, that's a bunch of stuff, and we're coming back to something that we haven't done in a minute, and that is a children's time. I wonder if there are any kids here or people who feel childish this morning. If not, I'm ready for that too. But if there are any kids, come on up. I have a prop. Should I just come to you guys? You want that? Oh, here we go, from front row. Nice. Go ahead, have a seat. Sit wherever you want. Alrighty. I'm so glad I know both of you already. This is good. Hey, so what's happening this afternoon? Does anybody know? The Super Bowl. That's right. What sport is the Super Bowl? Football. Okay, right. Yes, American football. Good job. All right. And there's this thing they do. See, sometimes they run with the ball, and other times they throw it. Anyone know what that's called? All right, when you throw a ball, anybody out there? Passing. It's called passing. Good job. All right. So, yeah, that's all right. I know, we picked the wrong kids this week. All right, this is great. So, when we throw the ball from one person to another, it's called passing. Can I pass to you? All right, real gentle. It's the slipperiest football you've ever felt. All right, you ready to pass it back? Now, there's a song that we're about to sing in a little minute, and it says, "Pass it on." And have you heard that song before? Do you remember what it is we're passing on? Anybody out there?
God's love.
Yeah, God's love. You spread God's love to everyone. You want to pass it on. That's right. So we are sharing the good news of love. We are sharing love to each other, and we're going to pass it on. So every time you see someone who happened to be a lion last year throw a ball today, throw a ball, and you see him passing, I want you to think about that. You're like, hey, I could be passing this week. And to help you remember, I have little footballs. So, one for you, one for you. Hold on to it. It can be a stress ball if you need it. But also, let it help you remember that we're passing on some love. All right, would y'all pray with me? Wait. We're praying first. Hey, God, thank you so much for the chance to be together, to have fun watching football, eating food together, and for passing on your love. Help us remember to pass it on every day, not just Super Bowl Sunday. Amen. All righty. I know the rest of you want footballs later. I know, I can tell. Go ahead, Carl, would you? Hey folks, it's already been another tough week as we watch the world in tension around Ukraine, as we watch folks struggling around the world with this Omicron variant. I'm still feeling joy that our numbers are down, but I also know that the curve of deaths follows the curve of infection. So we're still facing folks dying right now. But thank you for all the ways you work to make God's love present by wearing that mask and all the awkwardness of sitting every other row. Thank you for doing that for each other. I'm also feeling some heaviness around some friends of mine. I'll tell you more about that in the sermon. But some folks having a hard week. So for all the joy that we celebrate today in camping and children and optimism and being silly, there's also some heaviness. Would you join me in bringing both of those to God, the heavy and the light, the joyful and the sorrow? Let's pray. Lord of all hopefulness, Lord of all grief, you continue to walk with us through this world. You continue to be the sunrise and sunset. Continue to give us strength in the hard times, but also to carry us when we can't manage it ourselves. Help us to go into this new week refreshed, recentered in your love, ready to pass on and live out your grace as your hands and feet for this world that so desperately needs you. In all these moments, Lord, help us to be real. Help us to meet the sorrow, not with solutions, but with presence. Help us to meet the joy not with Debbie Downer moments, but with collaboration and participation. And help us to meet every moment with a remembrance and a memory that you are the one who is making it all possible. And when we finally get home at night, when we are centering ourselves, let us find you in prayer. And pray the words that you taught us when you said, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen." I want to sing. Camp Sunday, the Super Bowl, and I haven't forgotten that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. It's a busy week. And one of the ways that our church has engaged in that is, you may have heard that Candace Williams led the charge on making Valentine's cards by hand, and they've been distributed now at a couple local places, particularly folks who are dealing with Alzheimer's. And I just love the fact that out there are folks who may not be sure that someone loves them this week. We're sending out a reminder to say, hey, somebody cares about you enough to make a handmade card. So thank you, Candace, and thank you for sharing your gifts. And whatever gifts you have this week, I hope that you find a way to share them too. Whether that's in the offering basket that Suzanne made look so cute, or whether that's through helping out with our food ministries, whatever it is. Or if you need help, give me a call, and we'll find a way to share your gifts with this world that needs you. Choir, would you share yours?
There's a great camp meeting.
There's a great camp meeting. In the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk on, my children, don't you get weary. Just a walk together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk on, my children, don't you get weary. Just a walk together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Walk and never tire. 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 There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk on, my children, don't you get weary. Just a walk together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Sing and never tire. Sing and never tire. Sing and never tire. Sing and never tire. Sing
clap in church, but we clap for that. That's cool. So today is this day of joy and rising and shining and great camp meeting, and I love it. We're wearing t-shirts and we are singing silly songs, and you know, I'm feeling particularly silly because I even used a sermon title that's a pun for the very first time. I know, growing up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm about to get to that. Thanks, Georgia. Gordy, I appreciate you. It's good. Georgia, take it away.
The scripture for today is Exodus 33, 7 through 11 from the Common English Bible. Moses took the tent and pitched it outside the camp, far away from the camp. He called it the meeting tent. Everyone who wanted advice from the Lord would go out to the meeting tent outside the camp. When Moses went out to the tent, all the people would rise and stand at the entrance to their tents and watch Moses until he had gone into the tent. When Moses entered the tent, the column of cloud would come down and stand at the tent's entrance while the Lord talked with Moses. When all the people saw the column of cloud standing at the tent's entrance, they would all rise and then bow down at the entrances to their tents. In this way, the Lord used to speak to Moses face to face, like two people talking to each other. Then Moses would come back to the camp, but his young assistant Joshua, Nun's son, wouldn't leave the tent.
Thanks, Georgia. The word of God for the people of God. Say thanks be to God. Hey, yeah, feeling all this, like, the pun energy this morning, but I gotta admit, actually, in my heart, not feeling that. I'm a little heartbroken today, because we got this camp mountaintop experience, and in the contrast, just yesterday, I learned that two of my friends lost their child. All right, it's still fresh.
Yeah.
And in all this silliness, how do we speak to something like that? What's our good news? Sorry, you're supposed to work up to crying later in the sermon. None of this. All right, so we had this story from Exodus, and you can picture it, right? Charlton Heston. He's got the tablets as Moses, and he goes up to the mountaintop, and he has this amazing experience, and comes back down. And you forget that during that moment, the people down at the bottom of the mountain were so desperate to feel God's presence. They were so desperate just for something to hold on to that they couldn't wait. They built themselves a God that they could hold on to. And often, pastors get up here, they're like, idolatry, and we've got all this idolatry and that. Like, I get it. I just want something tangible, God, to hold on to. I want to be able to cling to that God that's going to hold me tight. I want to hold on to something. And yeah, Moses comes down, and God's really mad, and there's all the fallout from that. But then, what does Moses do? And Moses builds the meeting tent. You heard Georgia say that. I love that. Officially, the tent of meeting. It sounds very formal, but it's the meeting tent. So that out on the edge, past the edge of where everybody is staying, because remember, they're nomadic people, so they're all in tents in a camp, this camp meeting, and then off, away from everybody else, Moses builds this meeting tent. Like, that's where we go to meet up with God. And wherever our little traveling city goes, God's going to go with us. And I feel particularly that camp energy when it said that whenever Moses was in there talking to God, there was this the cloud of smoke. Like, I just assumed there was a campfire in there. Or maybe it was the incense or whatever it is, but that symbol of God's presence was there. Everybody peers from the front of their tent going, ooh, what's going on down there? God is showing up along the way. So for me, in my life, the mountaintop is camp. It's Camp Sunday. It's a weird thing to have a Sunday of the year dedicated to this other week in the summer, right? It's a little bit quirky that we would take a day to celebrate that. Maybe it's just because we're desperate for some summer in the middle of February. But I think it's deeper than that. It's a chance to remember the mountaintop. But then what do we do all the rest of the weeks of the year? Well, we have the meeting tent. There are other words for meeting tent. It also gets called the tabernacle. It gets called the sanctuary. We call this place the sanctuary because it's where we get together in our regular lives that are away from camp, that are away from the mountaintop, to meet up with God and just to remember that God is still here. So I guess we get back to that. What good news do we have for people who are suffering this week? Because make no mistake, people are suffering right now. It's not just my friends. Folks are struggling with this pandemic, struggling with work, struggling with the economy, struggling with their health. My friend Molly struggling with her brain cancer. There's a lot of struggles out there. And if you aren't struggling today, consider yourself blessed. It is a good thing. So we've got that mountaintop, and then we've got the rest of the year. And our goal every time that we gather is to remember that mountaintop, to remember that God is with us. And we get to make a tent. Not a literal one, but inside us we make this tent. We're a tent people. See, in the Bible, there's a lot of tents in the Old Testament, because they most of the time weren't in a city. They were traveling around and had to follow the herds of animals, or migrant farmers and agricultural workers, and they lived in these tents that were moving from place to place. It was good to know that God always went with them. Next week, we'll talk about how we remember those moments, but this week, it's remembering that God is walking alongside with us. And I got to tell you, I got distracted this week because remember I said there's sanctuary, there's meeting tent, and that other weird word, tabernacle. I don't know if that means anything to other folks, but for me, the tabernacle is one specific building in my life. There was this big old building on the campus of Crystal Springs United Methodist Camp, built in 1893, and it was the location for camp meetings. I love that the doors actually swing out. It's this huge barn, huge. I mean, this building could probably fit 4 of them in there, and the doors still have to swing open because that's how big the camp meetings used to be. The people were gathered around trying to hear. This is before that we had amplification. Everybody wanted to gather around and sing the songs together and hear the preachers, and then they'd go down to the springs. There was a campfire down by the springs where people would get healing for their troubles. And I know that place doesn't mean much to you maybe, but it means something to me because it's where I connected with Georgia Dalton, our liturgist today, where Georgia was the camp dean while I was there in elementary school. Georgia was there, and we gathered, we sang in the chapel and in that tabernacle, and that's where I met Mandakini. That's where I met Joe Fahey, our youth leader around here. All these connections happen when we are gathered in that tent of meeting, that tabernacle. And I think I told you already, but Crystal Springs is no longer a United Methodist camp as of a couple years ago. And I think to myself, what are we going to do without that place that means so much, where there was over a century of lives changed? How do we have God without that place? We remember that's just a tabernacle. We get to carry the tabernacle with us. We get to carry God's presence with us. Wherever we go, that tent of meeting is going to be right inside us. And now, maybe you didn't have the same tabernacle, but I imagine in your life there is one. Some mountaintop that, I think, if only we could go back to the way things were then. If only we could get back to that amazing time I had in my youth or my childhood, or that when things were so great, everything was much better back then. No, we have the chance to carry that with us wherever we go. So what does this mean for you, my friends? What does this mean for my friends who lost their poor Miriam? What does this mean for Bob Scott, who is learning what it is to be a widow? What is the widower? What does it mean for everyone who's still dealing with the trauma of this pandemic? But hey, it means good news that God is with you. And maybe we need to hear it this way: God is still with you. hear that? It's not just it used to be. God is still with you. In those dark times that you might be facing, God is still with you. In the joy of Camp Sunday, God is still with you. When the trauma overwhelms your mind and body, God is still with you. When illness has the upper hand, God is still with you. When your loved ones turn their back on you, God is still with you. When addiction takes hold, God is still with you. When hope is barely a memory, God is still with you, my friend. Because you are the tent. You are the tabernacle. You are the sanctuary. And that's that song you sang earlier. Did you hear it? He said, Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Amen? Amen. Friends, would you rise and sing, You Have Decided to Follow Jesus? Sorry, Julie, I didn't give you a moment of heads up. Go ahead. We're okay. You did the right one really well, thank you. Want me to do it? There you go. What key is it in? C. I can play a C. Sweet.
All right.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. The world behind me, the cross before me. The world behind me, the cross before me. The world behind me, the cross before me. No turning back, no turning back. Don't go with me, still I will follow. Don't go with me, still I will follow. Don't go with me, still I will follow. No turning back, no turning back. Nice, there we go. It wouldn't be camp if things didn't go against the plan. Hey, but God is with us. It's not about doing things perfectly. It's about remembering that God is with us in every moment. So as we go out and as Julie plays Pass It On, I want you to do just that. Because guess what? I got more footballs. All right, who's up for one? Choir, you want one? Who's going? All right, I see one there. Right, they're hard to catch. Who's going over here? Cassandra. All right. Oh, one over here, Donna. All right. Nice job. All right, here. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. One over here. Woo. Who's going? Give it a shot. Oh, interception. All right, here you got one. Oh, sorry. I was going for. Oh, Bev. Oh, we'll get him. Oh, to the back. Oh, wait, you got one? Who's going? Oh, here you go. We'll get it. We'll get it. Not for you, Jay. All right. Way back there. One for Barb. There you go. Right, I saw Mike. Nice snag. All right, I'm out. Sorry, guys. I know.